Hello. Is anybody there? Marvin says hi. He's not interested in being on YouTube. How is everyone today? Is anybody there? I think it says 5 people, but you can talk. It helps me get going. 6 people. Say something, please. So if you don't know me, I'm Suze. Just a recap. This is Suze now, but we started as Adventures of Suze, and that was back in 2016. And then our channel came down, long story. We moved to VidMe, or I moved to VidMe with my followers. And then that came down, like the whole company came down. And then we came back here. And then I'm generally these days over on Patreon. I point to it like it's like a place in the ether. Kind of is. And yeah, so I do like a monthly live here on YouTube. And yeah, and I do weekly vlogs on Patreon. So I'm waiting for people to say hi. Hey, gorgeous Dan. Hi, are you a patron? If you're a patron, say you're a patron, because then I can like have an actual chat with you. We are going to do patron-only lives, which we're going to do on Patreon, obviously. Hi, D. Francis. Familiar faces. Nice to see you. How have you been? I'm sorry I haven't been around so much lately. I have been traveling, and I went to Sweden, and then I went to Mijas in Malaga, and then I ended up in Gozo in Malta. And yeah, Malta was the best bit for me. Yeah, so I am thinking about going straight back because I love it so much. It's like a magical island. With loads and loads of people that are in community, and they catch up with each other every day, and it's really nice. So tell me, what do you want me to talk about today? I feel all shy. It's been a long time. So I'm back in London right now, but I want to get on a plane and get back to Gozo, if I'm honest. Hey, who's this? Malta, the home of Maltesers. Yeah, we just eat Maltesers all day long. That's what the Maltese people do. I'm so gullible, I probably would believe that Maltesers were from Malta. They could be. I don't actually know. You might even be saying something factual. But the Maltese kind of speak like this. They kind of go up and down in the wrong part of the sentence. So it's almost like the singing, but I quite like it. And you kind of get used to it because it sounds a bit like this. If you're from Malta, then please don't feel completely offended. Spada, another familiar name. So I'm squinting like I'm like 87. Hey, Suze, finally caught a live appearance. Hope you're doing good. Is this your first live? That's so groovy. Oh, cool. Welcome. Yeah, I always get a bit shy on lives. Because, like, there's no escape. If it turns out to be true, it was an accident. Okay, well, you can Google it. Go on Wiki. Like, were Maltesers made in Malta? Who's this? Hi, how are you doing? Where are you from? I don't recognize your name, so you must be new. Are you new to This Is Suze, or have you been around a while? Let me know. So what are we going to talk about today, everybody? Come on, someone pick something. You can just say anything. You can say a word. You can say something that you want me to talk about, and I'll just ad-lib, and then you can all just start like flowing with conversation. Yes, it is no longer a live stream version. Yeah. I was about to say but I won't say it because it's rude on YouTube. You just got Maltesers are English, so says Google. Okay, so it's a big lie. They should be called Englishers. They're Maltesers. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wonder what the Maltese people think, because is there there's like a huge amount of English people in Malta, so it's Where was I recently? Oh, I was in Mijas in Spain, and it's full of English tourists, and so all the chocolate is English. So I don't know if it's the same with Malta, and if that's the case, they would recognize Maltesers. Marvin, do you want to say hi again? Oh, mushy, 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 my baby. Hello. He purrs so loud, it's so nice. He is huge, yeah. I took him to the vet the other day, and they said he came in just under 5 kilos. And I said, does that mean he comes in just under obese? And they kind of just went. I don't like people calling him obese, though. You're just big boned. Like South Park, he's just big boned. I don't want to get him an eating disorder or anything. You know, I don't want to give him a complex. So I have reduced his food intake quite a lot. It's just winter, isn't it, Marvin? You don't like running around so much. He carries it very well. Yeah, he does. Like a perfectly made suit, don't you, Marv? Look at his Burberry patch. He's so trendy. Bringing fashion back, Marv. No, don't go up there. That's going to make things difficult. Well. Okay. So apart from Marvin the cat, who's pretty much the Dalai Lama of cats, what else do we want to talk about tonight? We can get more exciting than this. Shall I just get going and you can tell me, you can start asking me stuff? So let's start with Gozo, because that's the most recent thing. We might do kind of a Pulp Fiction Tarantino style where we kind of go back and forward in time. So Gozo was the most recent trip. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't really know what's happening with it. I just kind of let my hair do whatever it wants now. I think it's growing of its own accord. I think it just changes color by itself. I think now it's got to that point. So in Gozo, the reason I went to Gozo, and the Patreons are going to get more detail of this, obviously. I've already made a little video, but which I haven't uploaded yet. But just to fill you in, I went to Gozo because there was a radical intimacy weekend with 2 friends of mine who run retreats. And they're the same people that I did Naked the retreat with. And now they do these radical intimacy workshops. And so my thing was, if I can get a cat sitter, I'm going to go. And if I can't, then I won't. And then I got a cat sitter. So I did. Had to take a break from Patreon. Message retracted. Did you swear? It's because you said you took a break from Patreon. That's like swearing. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, you can come back in January and check out all the crazy shit we were doing in December. I feel like it's like gonna get a bit crazy, particularly with the conversations that I have to be starting soon. So yeah, so radical intimacy. You know, it wasn't like a sex fest. You literally just turn up. It wasn't like that. It was learning how to have intimacy in a way where there's consent. So one of the things we learned was about the wheel of consent. If you haven't heard of it, just Google wheel of consent. I'm sure it's up there somewhere. And so we learn about the wheel of consent. And so when you're in a relationship, like if you want to have something and someone doesn't want to give it to you, then it's kind of like saying, well, what about this instead? And kind of, you know, trying to find a way that works for both people. We also realized that a lot of people don't always want sex. And that's hard to believe, but some people don't always want sex. Sometimes they just want touch and they want cuddles. But if any touch happens, then can lead to sex, and that's not always what people want. So that was another thing, was being able to just reach out and ask for a cuddle. And that was really cute because there were loads of people there. I mean, there were a lot of women. There were a lot more women than there were guys. And yeah, there were lots of opportunities to get into what they call cuddle puddles. I think they're called cuddle puddles or cuddle pods. And you can literally just, you know, put your leg over someone and just like, you know, cuddle them or stroke their hair, or you might ask to like lie in their lap and, you know, have them stroke your hair or something like that. So it's really cozy. It's not like you every time you get touch, it has to be sexual. And so that was really nice because, you know, I've done these kind of cuddle workshops before, but for a lot of people, they don't know how to get that kind of touch. It's like, it's either sex or they're like starved of touch. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground, you know? So it was really beautiful. There was a lot of connection, a lot of laughter. I got Marvin's hair in my mouth. Terrible spelling is why it was retracted. Yeah, you're not allowed to spell badly on here. Tickle bit sounds better. Yeah, well, you could do that. Some people hate being tickled. Like, it's really, really tough to be tickled. So the other thing that they did actually was really cool, was called, what's it called? I can't think of the name. Basically, you're on mats and you, it's not role play, that's the wrong word. It's just like, play fight. So you have all these mats down on the floor and everyone sits around the circle of the mats. And then if you want to, you can go in and you can invite someone to play fight. So you might kind of crawl up to them and just be like, you know, like that. And they can choose if they want to play fight with you or they can say no. And then if they want to play fight, then you go onto the mats and you kind of like do whatever you want. You just roll around. Or, I don't know, some people maybe got sensual, some people got really feisty, some people just kind of played games with each other where they would chase each other and then like, I don't know, just, yeah, it's just whatever you want. So that was really interesting. I'd never done that before. And yeah, just sitting around the circle at the beginning, I knew I wanted to go in because I'm always someone who wants to experience things. But I don't know whether it was the fact that everyone around was watching or whether, I think that fear comes up, you know, like they say when you're on the sports pitch or something and, you know, you're the last person to be picked or something for a team. It feels like that. You're like, oh, I hope that person that I want to pick me picks me. And yeah, one of the people that I wanted to play fight with did pick me. So that was really fun. So I actually got to play fight twice. Must be good exercise because you are looking ripped. What? Serious? I don't think so. But thank you. Sorry. I just really did not take that compliment very well, did I? Thanks. I tell you what it might be, if it's anything, is I've decided to give up comfort food for a month. Why I decided to do this when Christmas is coming up, I have no idea because like this is like the dumbest month to do it. But if you can do it over Christmas, you can do it anytime. So I've given up coffee, caffeine, alcohol, sugar, gluten, and dairy. It's like, yay, really fun month for me. Worst time to do that, lol. Yeah, it's totally the worst time. Yeah, it is the worst time. I know. Like, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. It was just like, yep, that sounds a good idea. And I'm starting with another friend who's doing it with me. So we kind of got the, you know, support of each other. All the power to you. Yeah, so it does make you feel lighter because obviously there's so many less things that you can eat. So I went to my local vegan place today and the guy who I always chat to who works there was like, it's really good to see you. I haven't seen you for ages and you look like you've got loads of energy. And he ended up treating me to this like a vegan galette, which was absolutely gorgeous. Because normally I'd go for the goat's cheese because I love cheese, but I'm not allowed cheese now. I'm going to give up chocolate for Easter. Easter's ages away. The only thing I like to give up for Lent is giving up. Okay. So has anyone got any questions about the radical intimacy, or would you like me to move on to the next chapter of what happened? I figured it would be really quiet tonight because I haven't been around for very long. And to be honest, I didn't give much notice about going live. I was just suddenly like, yay, it's Sunday, let's go live. So I'm sorry for not giving enough notice. I give up trying to give up smoking. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you how I gave up smoking because I quit smoking 3 years ago. And I used to smoke a lot. And my advice is that I didn't quit smoking, it quit me. So basically a thought came to my mind, which was something along the lines of, it was something like, what are you feeling right now? Or something like that. And I looked at the cigarette and I realized whatever it was I was feeling. And I don't know why, but just that interruption of the thought, I put the cigarette down. I never, ever picked one up again. Like, it's the weirdest thing. So what I tell people when they want to give up smoking is that I don't think you can use willpower to give it up, because, I mean, I was loving smoking when I was smoking. I think you have to keep interrupting the thoughts. So you basically, when you pick it up, you ask yourself, why did I just pick that up? And it might be, oh, I was feeling anxious, or the person I'm talking to is really boring. Like, I want to put a smoke screen between me and them. That's literally what it is. Or, I don't know, I'm feeling insecure, or I just can't stop thinking about my next cigarette, or whatever the thought is, just work out what it is. And that moment of interrupting it starts to create distance between you and the habit, because you bring in consciousness. Oh, we're getting all educational now. I want to give up smoking, but was raised never to quit anything. Oh, well, quit dying. I need you alive. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, Thomas. Are you new, Thomas? Because I don't recognize your name. So, yeah, thanks, Sparta. Yeah, it does work, or it did work. I've never, ever touched a cigarette since. Like, just no desire. I don't like the smell. Like, ugh. Where are you from, Thomas? Barosso. Could be Italian. Not really with a name like Thomas, with an H. It's like funny how we try and work these things out. Yeah, I always miss the stream. Always. Boy, you didn't, because you made this one, so you don't always miss the stream. I often miss the stream. This is nonviolent communication. Like, when you use the word always, like, oh, you're always late. Like, apparently that's violent. Whereas if you say, you know, you're often late, it's not as violent. So you can also be violent on yourself. I've never died before, so my deductive reasoning leads me to believe I'm immortal. Like, you're in the twilight. I was watching this trailer today about Twilight, and it was like a joke trailer of the movie Twilight, about this girl who's basically dating a guy who's been alive for like 100 years, and they're like, yeah, but he's not a pedophile. That's really funny. Always until today. Where are you from, Thomas? I don't know why I'm asking only you, but just I haven't seen you here before. If anyone else is here, like, come and say hi. This is the best bit. Is the whole point of coming to the live is so you can chat. You're from New York. Oh, I'm blushing. I love Americans. New York. I can't really do that accent. You just got to keep saying coffee all the time. Coffee. I'd have to basically just watch Sarah Jessica Parker for a really long time, and then I'd be able to pick it up. I have been to New York once. Do you want to know what I did in New York? Oh, you're in Florida. I haven't been to Florida. Love to go to Florida. Those lovely beaches. Yeah, when I went to New York, it was the most amazing experience in the world. I was staying with some guys who were in a Broadway show, and they invited me to go and stay with them. And I was auditioning. I was a ballet dancer back then, and I was auditioning for a company called Ballet Tech, which I later found out was the same company that Patrick Swayze danced in. And Patrick Swayze is like my, like, woo. So that was exciting news. Yeah, so I was recommended to this director to go to New York and audition for this ballet company. And when I got there, the director had just literally got called to fly somewhere to Washington. And like, being super young, I was like 20, I think. I didn't realize that, you know, you should probably hang on in there and just like hang out till he gets back. But I did a lot of partying instead. I remember dancing on the bar of Coyote Ugly to Aerosmith. That was probably one of my favorite highlights. Elvis was a pedophile? What? What? Remove your t-shirt, lol. No wonder you're unknown. If that's probably one of my friends. Yeah, New York is cool to visit, but I don't think I could live there. I don't want to know if Elvis was a pedophile. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think he was a comedian. I don't think he should have been a singer. Well, he was a good singer, but I think he was funny. He was 22 when he got together with a 14-year-old. Well, I suppose I'm not gonna get into a conversation with this live on YouTube, but like, I mean, 22 is pretty young, to be honest. But also, yeah, I suppose the legal age is 16, right? Yeah. Well, I guess the thing, if there was consent, there was consent. I don't really know. Ended up marrying her and paying her parents off. Okay, well, I don't know. I guess he's Elvis. He can get away with more than most people. Uh-huh. All right, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Although he was a good singer. Yeah, he was a really good singer. He's really funny. If you see that one where he does, he sings "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" and he gets the giggles in the middle of it. If you got to look it up, it's the funniest thing ever. He just can't finish his song. It's so cute. I fell in love with him after that. It's really funny. So does anyone want to know anything else about radical intimacy? No one's asking any questions. Had crazy taste in sandwiches. Yes, he did. I think he had, what did he have? Fried Mars bars or something like that. About what? Anything. I'm waiting for your direction. The best singer ever was Freddie Mercury, no question. Yeah, he was amazing. Have you heard that song Barcelona by Freddie Mercury? Check it out. So it's a duet with this famous opera singer. I won't try and remember her name, but it was going on during the, I think it was the 94 or something Olympics. And he had always wanted to sing with this woman. It was like his dream. And then it like happened. And so he was, yeah, it was just like so amazing. And the song, if you listen to the lyrics, it's all about that. It says, I had a dream. And she goes, woo. And he's like, the dream was me and you. Woo. Right. And basically he's singing about the dream he had to sing with this singer. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I think they record it in a really short space of time. Keanu Reeves is the coolest person alive. What? He's the coolest monotone person alive. Does he ever like raise his voice, or does he always just speak on one thing? Have you seen the Rocket Man trailer? No, what's that? I don't read the news and I don't have a TV. Do you guys like Conan O'Brien? No. Is he like an Irish folk singer? I don't know who that is. Okay, we'll check him out afterwards. Okay, let's get deep now. Okay, so this conversation has been, you know, the warm-up. But we should get deep. So let's dive deep. A new Elton John movie coming out. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's dive deep. Let's, shall we? Yes. Okay, someone asked a deep question. So much more fun this way. TikTok, TikTok. La, la, la. Do you believe in aliens? Do I believe in aliens? I'm not sure. It's not something I've explored. I would say at the moment, I don't know if it's a complete no. I'm open to the idea, but it's definitely not on my list of things that I look into on YouTube, etc. So yeah, it's not really something I ever bother looking about. We aren't alone, this is for sure. Yeah. Yeah, but who are the aliens? Are they actually on this planet, or are they somewhere else? That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of discussion about that. Okay, another deep question. Because obviously I can't really get very far with that because I really don't know much about the subject. I probably believe in ghosts more than I believe in aliens. Two. No one can think of any deep questions. So do you got boyfriend? Is that English? So do you got boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend. I recently have a lover. Lover. Will that do? Mr. Lover. Time for wet t-shirt, lol. Whenever this happens, I always assume it's my friend playing tricks on me. I don't have any more water left, look. There's no more t-shirt wet. There's no more water. Oh, smells of roses. Oh. What single event has had the biggest impact on who you are? Oh, good question, Thomas. You like to go deep. What single event has had the biggest impact on who you are? Ooh, wow. I would say in answer to that question that it depends which glasses you're wearing. Like if it's the glass half full, then it would be a situation where that impacted me positively. But if it's a situation that impacted me negatively, oh my God, what single event has had the biggest impact on who you are? I don't know who I am. I went to a Zen meditation today, and I didn't really know what was going on because it's the first time I've been. But yeah, I went to this mindfulness as well the other day, and basically you spend the whole session, and if you were there for 3 days or 7 days, you would do this for 3 days or 7 days, where you ask someone else, who are you? And they have to reply, I am. And then they have to say, I am who they are for 5 minutes. And then they swap over. And the idea is that if you do this long enough, then you kind of lose the attachment to like who you are, and you get to something more like, you know, I am consciousness or something, you know. Lol, that was awesome. Wow, nice, much better. The earth is flat. What? Well, I do have this theory. I do have this theory about the earth being flat, that, you know, when you get on a plane and, you know, you think you're at an airport and then they shut the door and then you're in the clouds. Well, you don't know if you're in the clouds because it's not like you're going to open the emergency exit and have a little look outside and then come back in again. So you could just be in a simulator. Like, I don't know why I had this thought one day, but I just suddenly thought, like, there could be something going on where we're really not moving anywhere, where we really think they are, and then they just open the door and it's just this performance and you just walk out and I don't know, like, they've just changed the scene. I could make a good movie. Yeah, but you say planes have windows, but they could just be running a movie of different random cloud forms. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. They have these things called windows. No, but you wouldn't know. It could be, if it's a simulator, that's what you're made to believe. So on the outside, it could be any kind of movie. You can see the plane take off from the outside. Yeah, maybe, but still could be an illusion. Anyway, it's just a thought I really have fun playing with. You can see planes in the sky from the ground, but that could be a movie too. Could Could be a projector screen. You don't know what you're seeing. Yeah. I want to get back to this conversation. What single event has had the biggest impact on who you are? I'm going to have to think about that. That's a really good question. I don't know if single events have the biggest impact on us, because we're made up of like every single little tiny piece of information or whatever that happens to us. So Suze, the American theater director. What? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm like having a Dory moment. I'm like, what? Pepsi or Coke? Neither. I'm healthy. You should only use that to like clean cars or something. Well, okay. In the old days, if I drink Coke, it would definitely be Coke, not Pepsi. What was the worst crime you ever committed and didn't get caught for until now? What, you want me to say that on like live YouTube? Like, I get arrested? No, I'm just kidding. I haven't really ever done a crime, I don't think. Can I think of one? Oh, I can't think of one off the top of my head. Well, yeah, thanks, Thomas. I'm still stuck on that question. Oof, that blueberry was a bit rough. Yeah, I don't know what single event has ever had the biggest impact on who I am, because I don't know who I am. Who am I? Who are you? We could literally do this for a whole hour on YouTube, just asking the question, who are you? And you have to reply, who am I? Wow, no underpants. What? I do have underpants on. What single superpower would you want, and would you use it for good or evil? Definitely good. I'm definitely a white witch. What single superpower? Well, I say that, but then like I'd love to have the ability to like, you know, be invisible so that you can like go and hear what people are saying when you're not around. It's a really good question, like focusing on a superpower you want and using it for good. Oh, I'd have the superpower to free all the caged animals that are in slaughterhouses and places like that. Just send them free, like, and just find them beautiful homes and sanctuaries. Just, I'd have a superpower to do it in a way that no one can stop it. No one knows what's going on. Maybe they like get frozen and then all the animals like get taken away. And then it's like, oh, got no more animals. Oops. Spying. I wasn't spying. I think teleport is the best. Yeah, but you got planes. Oh my God. Like, oh, that'd be so cool if I could teleport my cats and just go to other lands with them, because that's such a pain in the ass taking them on the plane. They don't like travel. I like to smell into the future. Why do you want to smell into the future? No dogs? No, I have 2 cats. I'd like to be able to smell into the future. Did you mean to write smell? Like, why do you want to smell into the future? Something's up. So what, you're going to smell and then you're like going to not go? Popcorn. I don't think you're so unknown. It is, if I see into the future, would my prescription glasses still work? Oh my God. Hilarious. I'm just checking that my friend isn't joking around with me. Okay, next question. Diving deep. There's a guy on YouTube and he always says diving deep. So for when Miss Wet t-shirt. You just had it. You just missed it. That was it. It's no more water. Okay, we'll do a wet t-shirt contest next time. Oh, that would be fun. You know, when they do those bucket challenges, I've never done that. I'm totally up for doing that. Patrons, let's get on with the wet ice bucket challenge. That'll be fun. But we should do it and raise money for something good, like rescuing animals. My friend is an actor and he's an activist, and he flies around the world now as an ambassador, saving rhinos and saving lions, and he takes them to sanctuaries. It's really, really, really amazing. Maybe we could raise money for him. An activist. I shall have to tell him that. Yeah, he is totally awesome. He's called Dan Richardson. You can check him out on Facebook. He's really cool. I wish I could do something like that. You can do anything you want. That's the secret, you know. And I mean, it's a really smart move. I'm not saying he's doing it for this reason, but I bet you he's got so many more people following his acting career now because they follow him as an activist, which is what, who's that other American actress called? You know, the one who was there when they did the, so long ago now. Where was it? What is it? Dakota? Do I mean Dakota? The pipeline thing? Is that what I mean? And she was there, and she was there the whole time. And what's her name? She's in a lot of things. We had the same acting coach. I wish I could do something like that. Which do you prefer, dogs or a cat? Well, I love my cat babies, but if I had a big community and I had lots of land, then I'd probably have lots of different animals. Why not? I feel like I would lose my cool finding the people abusing and neglecting these animals every day. Yeah, they need to be rescued. Yeah, what you mean with what Dan does? Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing that he does. But it's so wonderful, the fact that he's actually in there making the difference and making the change, you know. He rescued a dog from Romania and he brought it all the way back to England. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful life that he does, because he every day must feel so rewarding, even though emotionally I imagine it's really tough and draining. Every day you know that you're making a difference to one magnificent animal, like one tiger or, you know, one rhino. And yeah, I mean, they are literally dying out. You know, a lot of these animals, like the rhinos and stuff, you know, you'll see this is the last of its kind, or it's really bad. Cats are better. Yeah, Marvin is awesome. Morgan Freeman is a dude, I guess. Never met him. Yeah, that's definitely Morgan Freeman you're thinking of. What? I wasn't thinking of Morgan Freeman. Maybe someone else was. I love ferrets. Oh, animals are literally the best people. They are. I prefer dogs too. They're perfect. Dog paradise in Costa Rica. Yeah, and in Malta, where I've just been, in Gozo, there are like loads and loads and loads of cats. Like loads and loads of cats. Okay, next deep question. I need some glasses. I never wear glasses. I do have some somewhere. Hedgehogs are also awesome. My mom rescues hedgehogs. Yeah, my mom rescues hedgehogs. She does it like all the time. So she has like a little shed in the back garden, like down at the bottom of the garden. She's made like a hedgehog sanctuary. And when it's winter and the babies are too cold to survive, she drives 40 minutes to the Hedgehog sanctuary. Yes, there's a Hedgehog sanctuary. And she drives 40 minutes to take them to the Hedgehog sanctuary. And then when they're like, you know, strong enough to make it through, she goes and picks them up and brings them back. She like feeds them with a little syringe, you know, like milk and stuff. So funny. Do you like stuff? What? I used to have a friend, Chris, who used to say things like that. Wow, nice view. I don't know what you're looking at. I haven't got my legs open. What's that book? This is the woman that I never stopped talking about. What? Yeah, this is one of my favorite books ever. I don't make a commission. I wish I did, because I kid you not, the amount of people who've bought this book after I have said go read it, like literally I go around their house and they've got it on the shelf. So good that it's Amanda Palmer. She is one of my favorite rebels. And the book's called The Art of Asking. So as an artist, basically, she used to be on a record label and she wanted to get off it. And her fans crowdfunded her, and they crowdfunded her $1 million, and then she wrote an album. So then she wrote this amazing book, which is super authentic and personal. Like, I mean, she talks about the sex that her and her husband had and how it was really awkward when they first started having sex and stuff. I mean, it's really fucking, you know, no holds barred. So beautifully written. I mean, it really is so unbelievable. Like, I don't know how she does it. Yeah, she's on Patreon too. Yeah. So yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's a really beautiful book. And I ordered it. I didn't want to order it on Amazon. So I ordered it from her bookshop in Boston, her local bookshop in Boston. And I got a signed copy, and I pre-ordered it before the book came out, because there was something really exciting about doing that. So, let's get a bit more light here. Yeah, so that's that. She's on Patreon. She's cool. She makes something like $40,000 per thing that she makes on Patreon. So yeah, she's doing pretty amazing. Okay. The Once and Future King is the best book ever. Science proved it. I don't know that book. You know where I'm looking for. Thanks, Bangy. 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 Oh, I'm tired. Someone else say something. Nice flowers. Thank you. Yeah, someone who was staying in my house when I was away bought them for me, which was really sweet of her. She was actually on the live stream last time. She was talking about sex parties, if you were here. You can watch the last episode to hear all about that. Are you ever on Reddit? I don't really know how to use Reddit. I don't really know how it works. People tell me I'm on it, but I don't go on it or know what it is really. Bangy, you're looking for flowers. What? Oh, I get what you guys are trying to make me do. You found me on Reddit? Well, I don't know. I've never really been on it. Yeah. I don't have time. I don't research things very good. I prefer other people just to tell me. The red pendant with your blonde hair really bring out the blue in your eyes, except for my eyes aren't blue. I think you're wearing glasses. Oh, which bath video? Oh, there's a lot of them on Patreon. I pretty much spend my whole life in a bath in Patreon these days. I have to remember to like post in more original places. It's just cold in London, so it's, you know, it's like it's the comfiest place. Thank you. Yeah, it's the comfiest place to make my videos. I was almost tempted to have a bath doing my YouTube just because it's my comfortable place, but I didn't. I'm craving like, I normally have like biscuits and chocolates and all kinds of things. And on this new thing where I can't have any comfort food, I'm not allowed any of it. It really sucks. But my internet doesn't really reach that well to the bath, to be honest. I don't know why, but it always kind of cuts out. I have a podcast, Bengi. The Authenticity Challenge, funnily enough. I wouldn't know what the link is, but it's on Spotify and it's on iTunes. It's on all those other podcast things like Podbean and I don't know. Will you ever have guests on your Patreon? Yes. Well, excuse me. Name of podcast, The Authenticity Challenge, same as the name of this. Yeah. So you check out the Authenticity Challenge podcast. It's a really different style. It's much more serious. And I try not to say, you know, like all the time. So it's slightly different format. Will I ever have guests on Patreon? Yes. Well, I mean, at the moment we have the Authenticity Challenge, which is one tier, right? And my aim is to have other tiers. Okay, so if you read the Patreon blurb when you go into This Is Suze, you won't be able to find This Is Suze, by the way, on Patreon just by looking on search because it's an 18+ channel. So anyone that has 18+ content, you can't find them in the search. So you have to put it up in the browser. You have to actually put the patreon.com/This Is Suze in the browser. Yeah. Yeah, so if you read the blurb, there are some things that I'm planning on doing. So one of them is called Find Your Own Hollywood, when I'm going to interview people whose lives inspire me. Maybe like they live outside the box. Like, I mean, Amanda Palmer's obviously one, but if I can get to interview her, I'd be like happy days. But yeah, so even just regular people I want to interview, they don't have to be famous. I just want to interview people whose life inspires me in some way because they're doing something really different, but that makes them really happy and they're following their bliss. And then we're going to have vulnerability is the new courage. And I'm really hoping, so I'm hoping, or not hoping, I'm planning to move to Gozo. If you don't know where Gozo is, it's a little island next to Malta. It's like 20 minutes. And what I'm really, really hoping is to do transparent communication in a slightly different style with myself and someone else completely naked, like in their body, but also in their words. So really sharing like where they are in the present moment and everything like that. Like it's an exercise I've done a lot, like in real life, but I really fancy the idea of doing it naked and also doing it filmed and having to just remove the fact that you're being filmed. I mean, I find that these days when you walk into a yoga class, people are like, you know, the studios are filming you or taking photos, and it's become the norm because I think they just want to have, you know, publicity material. But sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, I just came here to do yoga. I don't really want to be filmed and photographed. But I don't know, creating this really beautiful, safe space. That's something I really fancy doing. Yeah. La la la. Found it. Yay. Check it out, Bangies, and let me know what you think of it. Ron Jeremy is inspirational. I don't know who Ron Jeremy is. Just stand up and turn around. Do you like wearing thongs? Yes. If they're soft. I'm wearing a thong now. Oh my goodness, what was that? This is not a deep conversation. Do you like wearing a thong? Can we see? Oh, I don't know. I think you see more than that on Patreon. I'm too lazy to stand up. People just don't judge people based on appearance. think we do. I think we also judge them based on smells and pheromones and things that we don't even know. Like, I think everyone judges everyone, but it's beautiful when you don't. That's a practice that I was practicing in Gozo. Yeah, someone helped me to try and get rid of all those triggers and just see people exactly the same and not judge and not get triggered by people. And, you know, it's almost like the people that trigger you the most are the people that you've got to love the most. Okay, I'll stand up and sit down. Okay. You're perfect, and I love your personality. Oh. Yeah, but when you do the who am I exercise, your personality goes, because like you're not your personality, you are just consciousness. You are not beautiful, but your gravity is strong. Okay. Hey, Lucy. I have another cat. She's called Lucy. My gravity is strong. Yeah, that's because I like to sit down a lot. Okay, are we going deeper? Which sports do you like? Preferably ones that I don't have to play. I like what's that game I said I played the other day? Yoga's not a sport. Football or soccer? Well, in England we say football. I prefer watching rugby because the guys look hotter. What was I calling it? You know, where you roll around on the mats that I was talking about earlier. That makes quite a nice sport. And big. I don't know what that means. Wrestling, yeah, but it's like, oh, play fighting, yeah. Sport wise, I probably did solo sports mostly, like swimming. I was a ballet dancer, but that's not really a sport. When you're your next stream, girl? We usually do once a month. It's kind of like, it's usually the last Sunday of the month, but the end of the month was on a Thursday or something, so that's why I'm doing it today. Do you sing? I like to. I'm not like really professionally trained, but I like improvising, and I would love to do more singing. Where Tisha is considered a sport. You did that earlier. Technically, you're an athlete now. Why not one a week? I don't know. We could do, I guess. I also want to do lives on Patrons as well. Yeah, so that we can get even more personal on Patreon, because it's like there's so much more freedom on Patreon. So that would be beautiful to do a free, to do a live stream on Patreon. Sing every day and enjoy it. Yes, I think my favorite singer is probably Florence and the Machine, and she actually lives in my neighborhood, and once a week is too much. Yeah, you'll get bored of me. How about 4 months? You're so funny. I love Scorpions, the band. I don't know it. I like Florence and the Machine. She is amazing. I don't think men like her as much as women like her, but when she sings, it's as if she knows what I've been through in my life. It's like she's talking to my soul directly. Like, I don't know whether it's just her voice or the words. I don't care. I can listen to all her songs. I would love to make music videos for her. Wellington, are you being rude? This message is held for review. I love lamp. I don't know what that is. Oh, you had her first album on repeat for days. Yeah, I storyboarded a music video for her song. What's it called? Let's look it up. It's been a while since I listened to that album. I'm always listening to the new one now. Yeah, and my niece, I storyboarded it, if that makes sense. And my niece drew all these pictures, and it was the first one was lungs, wasn't it? Girl with one eye. I think that could make an amazing music video that I would like to make. Wellington, you're being rude. He says open tits. Can't open tits. You have so much things going for you. No need to expose your body, but if you enjoy it. Are you telling me what to do, Bangy? Oh, bless you. It'll never work. Yeah, I like to do what I like. Yeah, so if you haven't been part of the Authenticity Challenge, then the Authenticity Challenge is a challenge to accept all sides of myself in public, okay? Which includes being angry, being sad, being miserable. Oops, that chair is gonna break. Talking random stuff like this, makeup, no makeup, clothed, not clothed, just woke up in the morning, in the bath, cat walking over my desk. That's the Authenticity Challenge, because it was about being okay with all of yourself. And we all have such a public persona that we don't even know that we're not even being ourselves in public, even when we just go out and meet people in public. We don't even know, that's my cat, we don't even know that we're not being ourselves. We think we're being, sorry, it's my cat's tail. We think we're being ourselves, but actually we have these kind of social masks. I mean, even now here with you, to a certain extent, like, you know, when you get intimate with people and you really get the opportunity to dive deep, you really drop all that stuff. For example, you might drop the like the banter, you know, just talking about random stuff. You want to really, really get to the truth and to meaningful stuff that means stuff to you. You know, and sometimes that's the case on the Authenticity Challenge. Sometimes I am just authentically sharing about my day, you know, that kind of thing. Dance videos are the best one on Patreon so far. Oh, good, but they are the best. Oh, I'm glad you like that. Well, actually, there was another one that I haven't posted yet when I was in Malaga. So I will remember to do that and post that one as well. Yeah, I haven't danced for a little while. I think there was one on Patreon. Yeah, I love dancing, actually, and I haven't been doing much lately. So yeah, so I'm thinking about moving to Gozo. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. There's a cat on my head. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really nice change. You happy there, Lulu? She likes flowers. Like, she'll start playing with flowers. You're so pretty, girl. You're so pretty. Look at you. Well. She's very sensitive, this one. This is a different cat to the other one. You can tell she's a lot smaller. She's very sensitive. Okay, by the way, be the way you are when you're alone in a safe place. Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's essentially what it is on Patreon. You're getting my most intimate moments of my day, like sharing it with you. Like, that's basically what's happening. Sometimes I'm in bed, sometimes, you know, yeah, just wherever I'm at. He's a little fat. The other one's a little fat. This one's not fat. Like, she's actually quite tiny, but it's maybe the way she's sitting. You think you're fat? Think you're fat? Baby. So next weekend, another stream here. No, I don't think so. I think we'll wait a month. I might post some more videos though on YouTube more regularly. I'm sorry that I haven't caught up with that. It just was like me getting used to Patreon and, you know, other work that I do and everything. Sometimes just happens. He's not a little fat, he's a little cat. It's actually a she. Come on, tell me something exciting. What do you got to say? She does that sometimes. Oh, I tell you what, she's still really stressed because she went to the vet the other day for a vaccination and she hates going to the vet. She really, really hates it. And she's been a bit snappy since. Cats are girls, dogs are boys. Oh. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, when was the last time you had amazing sex? Go. Don't all speak at once. You're a virgin. Oh, touched for the very first time. La, la, la. You can't see anything. I'm just wearing a dress. It's not exciting. Are you happy now? Can you be nice? Love me. What sex? It's just that thing you do when you can't eat comfort food. Friday. What day is it? Oh, that's good. It's only a couple of days ago. Wellington's just saying the same thing again. Wellington, that's not like you. Lucy's looking for a good book. She's like, what are you going to read? What about this one? This is a good book. The Tantric Quest. It's all about a man's search for love. It's really, really beautiful. And he goes and finds this female yogi. I would like to turn I'd like to turn this book into a movie. It's so good. You should get it. It's really cool. And actually the guy who wrote it's called Daniel Odier, and he is he's still alive because I wanted to train in his Tantra, because after reading this book I wanted to study with him. But unfortunately the weirdest thing is one of his films has been made into a book, but one of his books has been made into a film, but not this one. I think this make it really, really great film. Anyway, yeah, so he lives in Paris, and so his workshops are in Paris. And then when I got in touch with them, they only do them in French or German, but they don't do them in English. And I was like, my French exists, but it's not good enough to be able to understand like a Tantra course. So that was a shame. So I didn't follow any further. So no Tantra for me yet. Not in a course anyway. What say? Thomas Broso sex. It's Suze. Bless you. Wellington Costa says tits wonderful. You just have a tits obsession, don't you? Are you on Patreon? Yeah, because what are you doing? We're still looking for we're still discussing on Patreon. It's, you know, it's this thing of like body and being free with the body, because that's really important. Like one of the conversations we had was, can we be completely free from shame? Like, is that a possibility in this lifetime to be completely free of shame? Because shame doesn't really do anything good. In some cases, it helps you to be humble. You know, you need some amount of shame, but we generally, particularly as a country here in England, there's so much shame and fear conditioning. Don't jump on the wire. There's so much shame here and fear conditioning that I wonder what it'd be like if we actually eradicated that from our bodies, like how free we would be in our lovemaking, how free we would be to love other people, because the shame that comes up, like, yeah, just kind of destroys everything. Does the word tits get blocked? Yeah, the word tits gets blocked. You're not allowed to say tits. Tits. You can say it, but you can't write it. It's funny, isn't it? Well, this is the thing, and this is what we're often discussing on Patreon, the idea that, you know, we all have breasts. You know, when I did the Radical Intimacy weekend, the guy who was leading it, he's doing a kind of, I can't remember what it's called now. It's like a sexual training, like a sexual healing training. And so he's really, really into like what's going on. And on the training that they do, they really learn the pleasure of their own bodies. And one of the things he discovered was that, like, actually someone just touched his chest for a whole hour. And as a man, he didn't realize that he had access to so much pleasure. Like, his chest had never really done anything for him. And then he found that he had all this pleasure to gain from his chest, you know, and he can't stop talking about it because it just surprised him so much. I was wondering why I couldn't see those comments. Yeah, well, look, I can click on it and then it will show the comment. So, please, Suze topless. Yeah, well, we do full authenticity on Patreon. You know, and it's interesting. A lot of the time, you know, men who like seeing women naked also still judge women for being naked. The same men that enjoy seeing women naked also judge women for being naked. There's a judgment there. And this is what we're trying to, you know, relieve ourselves of. You know, it's not about being told to do something. It's not about being manipulated or controlled or dominated by a man. It's about a woman, or for me anyway, it's about, I want to be so free with myself. Like, I want to have that freedom that their shame doesn't come up as a block. Now, like in a real life situation, you need the wheel of consent. I mean, recently I had a house sitter staying in my house, and he could not understand the word no. You know, he was supposed to stay in a hotel the night before he house sitted for me. And after seeing the house and coming around, he suddenly wanted to sleep on my couch. And I said, no, that doesn't make me feel comfortable. And he could not take a no. That was really challenging for him. He had decided that that's what he wanted and that's what was going to happen. And couldn't hear a no. If a man can't take a no, like gracefully, we have a problem, because you can't feel safe around someone that doesn't hear your no, you know. But also we have to learn to say no. And it's not just women, you know, men too. You felt that when you were next to when someone's rubbing your arm. I've never taken ecstasy, but yeah, I know that people stand there and they're just like, oh, my arm. I did have that experience once without being on ecstasy. Yeah, I was in the Dominican Republic on the Naked Retreat, where I was facilitating and assisting on the Naked Retreat. And one of the days was a self-love day. And so I took people through a hot oil, a warm oil, Ayurveda massage, and like how to do it on yourself. And we were all covered in oil. And then at the end, everyone started dive bombing over each other's bodies covered in oil. It just got really funny. And then we all walked out to look at the stars covered in oil. And everyone was just standing there, just like rubbing themselves, like Thomas is saying, because we just is so beautiful with all this hot oil all over us and just gazing at all these amazing stars. So I've kind of had a similar experience, but in a slightly more less drug-induced experience. Okay. Anybody else? Because otherwise we should head to bed. I have this new thing where I like to be in bed at 11 o'clock now so that I can get up at 7 a.m. It didn't happen this morning. I didn't get up until 9, but it's weekend, so I can have a lie-in. Oh, Wellington, you're so sweet. I once seen a pigeon. What, when you were on ecstasy? That sounds like quite the experience. Yeah, it was really nice. Have I done any drugs? You want me to say this live on YouTube? Come over to Patreon, where we get really truthful. To be honest, the best drug I've done is a medicine, which is mushrooms. As a healing journey, I did that to help with depression. And I have to say it was unbelievably amazing. And I'm not someone who does drugs, so I don't really have an experience of tripping. It was the most beautiful healing experience I've ever experienced. I think I've talked about it on one of my vlogs. So it is very much, I'm getting distracted by the question. Crocodile. What? No, I've never done them, but yeah, mushrooms was a healing journey for me. And what I learned is it told me that I have to let go of the past. And that really has been challenging for me, just to drop it. It's like I wanted to get to the bottom of it and understand it and explore it. And yeah, that hasn't, you know, it's happening. But that was the message I got during the mushrooms. And I cried for, I don't know how many hours I cried, but I looked like I had been like punched in the face. I looked like I'd been in a boxing match the next day. Yeah, I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. It was unbelievable. And also the other thing that can happen is that the thoughts that are in your head actually come out of your mouth. And so people around you are like, wow, you really worry a lot, don't you? You know? No, I don't know crocodile. Wellington, I love you. I love you too. Well, let's all send each other love, because unless you have any more questions, I'm going to be sharing on Patreon about I was going to have a conversation about orgasms, but I might leave that till next time. Crocodile. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm a drug virgin. Yeah, so yeah, over on Patreon, we're going to be talking about, do you get rude on Patreon? Oh, do I get, no, I'm so blind. Do you get rude on Patreon? Do I get nude on Patreon? Yeah, I mean, the authenticity challenge is also about letting go of the shame of my body and the freedom of that. And yeah, like, you know, this is what the Naked Retreat really teaches us, is that, you know, clothes are not natural. Like, you didn't come out of your mother's womb like wearing a onesie. You came out naked, and that is natural. That is your bodysuit, right? And I mean, I came out with pink hair, obviously, but you don't come out with a onesie. And so we have these costumes on where everyone's wearing ties and all these, you know, I was looking at people in the station the other day, all wearing all these different clothes. And I'm like, I wonder how people would move through the world if we were naked. It would be very different, because what I found when I did the first Naked Retreat was actually, it was my humility that came out. I wasn't like uber confident, you know, naked in front of loads of people. It kind of brought a kind of, I don't know if humility is the right word. Yeah, maybe a softness or a gentleness, because with clothes, you kind of, get more confidence, you know, the more flashy the clothes are, you know, but when you don't have it, it humbles you somehow. It softens you somehow. I mean, for some people it doesn't, but yeah. And also the other thing is when everyone's naked, everyone is even because, you know, there's no costumes on anymore. So it's an interesting experience. And after you've spent the first 3 days like staring at everyone's genitals because you don't normally get a chance to, you just don't even register it anymore. You know, it's an integral part of them as a person that you now see where you don't normally see it. And it does inform a little bit more about who that person is to a certain extent. But other than that, you know, you just let it go and then you just see the person. And yeah, it doesn't really go crazy. Wellington, your posts are always getting held for review. Equalizing. Yeah, that's a nice word. When was the last time you did sex? When was the last time you did sex? I don't do sex. I make love. The last time I made love was on, I guess, when did I fly back? I flew back on Thursday. So the last time I made love would have been Wednesday morning, I believe. When was the last time sex did you? That would have been Wednesday morning. When did you last find sex is the correct way to ask that question. What? Funny. Yes, beautiful, beautiful lovemaking, beautiful, beautiful orgasms. Orgasms, I'm going to finish on the subject of orgasm. Have you heard that story, how we arrived by an orgasm? But wouldn't it be awesome if we started as old people and got younger and younger and younger and left as an orgasm? Yeah, so I was listening to a YouTube video today. The woman's name is Teal Swan. I went to see her live in Birmingham. She's an American spiritual teacher. She was phenomenal live. She was probably better live than in her videos. Like everything she said was relevant to my life. Literally everything she said was relevant to my life. In fact, what she said is probably now why I'm relocating to Gozo. It was just amazing. And she was, in one of her videos that I was listening to today, she was talking about orgasms. And you might want to think about this. Be careful what I'm saying. Think about this the next time that you have an orgasm. So what she was saying is that when you have an orgasm, like when you release the energy, that is an amazing time in your life to be able to manifest the things that you want. So that if you actually concentrate your energy on that moment of release, on the thing that you want, it's a really amazing time to manifest, okay? So let's say, let's say you want to, I don't know, you want to get a better position in your job, right? Well, that's not exactly going to turn you on, probably, like thinking of your boss in that moment, etc. So you're not thinking about that, you know, but just as you're like releasing the energy, you want to think of seeing something that you really want. So if you want to be in a really loving relationship, what was the word I learned the other day that I really, really loved? I'm not going to remember it now. Can't remember it. Anyway, it's a lovely word that means like someone not chooses you, but like I can't think of the word. So if you really want like a loving relationship, then when you're having your orgasm, that's what you think about. So you visualize that thing. If you wanted to have a baby, maybe that's what you think about. If you wanted to have like $1 million or your cat to not walk on your laptop, then that's what you think about. So I can't read the questions. I just watched a really entertaining documentary on orgasms on the Science Channel. It was pretty good. Well, was it good? I think when I hear the word science, I imagine that that it would be a little bit dry. That's totally the wrong word that I should be using right now because it's totally wrong. But you know what I mean, like a little bit educational and not like very beautiful. Lucy, I can't read when you're standing in front of the question. Lucy. Can you get I'm sorry, this is my cat. She's trying to get down on the floor. She's a bit confused. Just Google multiple orgasm videos into Google. Now I'm watching bukkake videos. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure everyone's going to check it out after this. What's your favorite position? Well, apparently I'm a spinner. This is a new word that I learned. Hi, Suze. Hi, you're just arriving as I'm just leaving, and we're just talking about orgasms. And this live stream is going to end on an explosive orgasm. I like lots of positions. Good girl. Thank you, X-Melon. Okay, so I think we better say goodnight because we've already been here for an hour and 20 people and lots of people have left and I think they need to go to bed. So, thong for your fans. Thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, X-Melon. Thong for your fans. There you go. All right, so if you want to see more and you want to dive deeper into deeper conversations, and then head over to Patreon. It's just the start of the new month, so it's a good time to come. And what's the other thing? And yeah, I think we're going to do some live. We're going to do some lives on Patreon. So that's going to be different than here. Let me just say that. All right. So I'm going to say goodnight because I'm tired. Thumb dance. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And let me know if you want to, join me again. Feel free to leave some comments. My mouse pad. How often do you enjoy myself? Every single day. All right, guys. See you tomorrow on Patreon.